Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris McCool. I'm presenting the work on the efficacy of mechanical weeding tools to enable alternative weed management strategies for robotics. This work was conducted at the Queensland University of Technology, where I'm a senior researcher, and was a strategic investment in farm robotics from the Queensland Government. This work was a collaboration of roboticists and biologists. The motivation for this work is that farmers will these days go through and do weed management by doing broadcast herbicide. And what I mean by that is they go through and spray herbicide indiscriminately to control their weeds. Unfortunately, the problem with this is in the bottom right hand corner is that the number of weeds that are actually resistant to herbicide has grown substantially. And that means they can no longer use this traditional approach to rely on it to do their weed management. Now, robotics can play a really key role in both reducing the amount of herbicide used, but also enabling an alternative method for weed management through individualized weed management. Now, considerable work has been conducted in agricultural robotics for weed management. In particular, you can see in the bottom, AgBot II. Now, AgBot II will go through a field and in real time detect and classify the different weeds within the field. What this work looked at is what are some of the different ways that it can do the weed management in terms of the different tools it can deploy. Now, in AgBot II, it's got a weeding module, both a mechanical system that you can see on the right-hand side, but also a spray system. In this case, we cared mostly about what are the different mechanical systems that can be used on a robotic platform, and how do we measure the efficacy of these systems. We conducted an experiment over 8 weeks on a field similar to the one you can see on the right-hand side, where we planted a set of control plants, and then tested the different tools on different plants at different times. And to do this, we measured the efficacy using survival probability. The different tools we use can be seen in the bottom here. What you can see on AgBot II are the two different mechanical tools. On the left-hand side, you see the arrow hoe and the tine, and in the far right-hand corner, you see the cutting tool, the whip stiffener that was used. What you can see here is the field layout before we actually deployed AgBot II, and you can see we had a weed map, so we could actually be sure that the weeds we were deploying AgBot II for were the ones that we wanted to grow. The thing you can see here that's quite interesting is the duck prints, and I'd be very happy to discuss that in more detail at the poster. What you can see here is AgBot II going through the field and deploying its mechanical weeding tools. You can see on the left-hand side the arrow hoe, on the right-hand side the tines. It goes through and deploys those tools, and once it's actually deployed, we go through and count the number of plants that survived weeks later to determine the efficacy of those tools. In this video, you can see one of the failure cases of AgBot II, where in the bottom right-hand corner it actually failed to detect one of the cotton plants. And this and some of the other details around the paper on the efficacy of mechanical weeding tools is something I'd love to talk to you about at my poster, and as well as some of the alternative weed management strategies that are enabled by robotics. Thank you.